Hey guys, I have a video for you today. I'm just going to do a quick, hopefully what is quick, a trailer tack box tour. These are just the general things that I will put in a tack box, a tack tote, to put in my trailer. These are the things that stay in my trailer year-round minus the liquids. So the first thing I have in here are my Lime Professional's Choice bell boots. I always will use these. These never are used for practice or anything. These are solely for shows, but they just look like this. They're the no-turn ones. So I always will put bell boots on my horses no matter what I'm doing, whether it be lunging or riding. I always use bell boots. Next thing I have is just these cheap white rubber bell boots in case it's super muddy, so I don't get my good ones dirty. So I just have these ones, and they're good for like I said, muddy conditions when I don't want to get those dirty, or just lunging when you first get there. Next thing I have in here to go with my complete set is my Sunbar Chevron Professional's Choice polo wraps. I have a set of 4 in here. They're not wrapped too beautifully right now because I just kind of threw them in there the last time I used them. But I always will wrap my horse's legs no matter what I do. Usually it's just the fronts, but when I go to rodeos I wrap all 4 legs. So I just have those, and I think leg protection is a necessity. I understand for like hunters and like English shows, you can't generally put wraps or anything on your horse's legs, but if you're at a show that you can, please just protect your horse's legs. Next thing I have in here to complete the set is my medium Professional's Choice Glitter Elites. I love these. I honestly recommend these, but they are quite expensive. You don't have to get the glitter ones, but I do really love these. These were $110, but I got them for like a deal from a certain website, and the deal is no longer standing. But these are around $150 now. Highly recommend these. Next thing I have in here, I find a necessity for showing, especially in the hot climates, especially where I live. It gets fairly warm in the summertime, and you always want to make sure your horse fully has all of its vitamins and is hydrated. So I definitely recommend some electrolytes. I just have a cheap container, 5-pound container from Tractor Supply. These are just the electrolytes. These make sure your horse gets all the vitamins and minerals that could be missing from the hot temperatures, and make sure they drink plenty enough water. A lot of horses, you can slip these in their feed, but with Spinner, he doesn't eat supplements, powdery supplements, so I'm going to have to slip it in his water. But it just has this little scoop, and it's full of electrolytes, and you just dump this into their water, and as they drink, they get their electrolytes. So that's always something that I recommend to have. Next thing that I would advise is an extra girth. This isn't a bare necessity, but I have seen girths break before. It shows, and it's always good to have an extra in case someone forgets one or it breaks. So I just have an extra neoprene girth with the Velcro. Next thing I have in here, this is not a necessity at all. This is from when I used to show English. When I was at the fair for weeks at a time, I would just have this bridle and halter bag just so I could keep my stuff organized. So if you have go to shows that are going to be more than a day long, I would suggest having one of those. Next thing I have in here, next couple things I have in here are pretty much necessities that I highly suggest you get or keep in your trailer. First thing is, I'm sorry. The first thing is I always would suggest having an extra halter on you in case your horse breaks one or a horse gets loose and doesn't have a halter on. You can try at least. Okay, apparently we're shooting guns now. Anyway, it's just a necessity to have an extra halter in case one breaks. That's all I have to say. So here's just a cheap halter that I have with Spinner's name embroidered into it. Rain Spinner. Next thing I also have a necessity and a story is this, is an extra bit. I always highly recommend keeping an extra bit in your trailer at all times. When I was little, I had I rode a horse named Snickers. Well, he's a pony. He's a lesson pony, and he had a double twisted wire snaffle. And when we were waiting outside of the ring, one class before ours, he chewed through the bit and it like fell out of his mouth. So my trainer had to run ragged finding a bit that would work for him right before my class. So I always recommend a bit. So this is just a Happy Mouth D-ring. I highly recommend these for your English horses. My horses loved it. Well, Spinner's the only one that used it, I think. But Spinner loved it, and I highly recommend it. It's a little torn up, but it serves its purpose. I'm probably going to take that one out and just put it in the barn because I'll probably end up just taking both of Spinner's bridles. Next thing I highly recommend is an extra lead rope for the same purpose as the halter in case one breaks or someone forgets one. I don't know how you can forget one, but whatever. Always recommending. Next thing I would recommend if you have a more hot, energetic horse is a lead rope with a chain. So if the horse gets too excited or bullheaded, you can either put it under its chin or over its nose and have a little extra control. So I just have one of those. I don't use it on Spinner, but it's always good to have. Next thing I would recommend for most horses is an extra lunge line. And a lunge line in your trailer. This one always stays in my trailer. I used to use this when I showed English, but I don't do that anymore. I don't need to lunge him for the barrel shows or anything. But I would recommend one in case your horse is energetic or needs to get its nerves out. You can lunge your horse before your show. Next thing I have in here, not a necessity at all, is just this leather showmanship lead rope with a chain. This is back when I used to show English and I had to do showmanship. Next thing I have in here, also not a necessity, is Spinner's sheet, cotton sheet, and it's really dusty right now because it fell. But I would recommend these if it's going to rain a lot when you're showing, or you show in more cold climates. When your horse is sweaty, you can just put a blanket over or a cooler. Either one, but I just keep this in there in case it rains to keep my saddle dry. Next thing, not a necessity, I just have an extra little saddle blanket in here to add some color or padding depending on which. It's always good. I also keep an extra pad liner in there, in the trailer, like a foam pad liner, just in case someone forgets one or you need a little extra protection. And the last thing in here, also not a necessity, this is for when I used to show English, it's just a tarp, because we would rent a stall for our hay, like feed room and a tack room, and then the stalls for the horses. So we would just keep our hay on the tarp instead of setting it on the ground. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video and it turned out okay. My chair is rocking all over the place. But sorry for the lighting. I kind of look a little white right now because the sunlight's really funny. But please let me know if you guys like this filming location. I just previously did, I don't know if I said this already, I probably did. But I just did a brief trailer tour, so if you guys want to go watch that, I don't know when it will be up. Hi, Spinny! Come on, Baba! Spinner's outside. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Go watch that video. I don't know which will be uploaded first. It just kind of depends on how much editing I want to do. So yeah, again, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Comment down below what you thought of it. What filming areas you like better for lighting, etc. And I will see you guys next week, so thank you so much for watching.